If you've been interested in a career in real estate, today is your lucky day. Today, we're going to find out about what is the most rewarding thing that we found about being in real estate, what surprised us the most, and stick around to the end. But because we're also going to talk about the market, what's going on, and how that might impact you and your career in real estate. Here we go. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Good morning.
Hey, today we have a special guest with us, Rose Sabano, and giving you a little bit background on Rose. Rose is a new broker with John L. Scott. She's gotten in the business. She's been in the business how long now, Rose?
Like almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yes.
And she has been crushing it. So we're going to be talking about Rose, kind of her experience, what led her into real estate, and just kind of just getting some insight and a new perspective from a broker who's just gotten into business. So, Rose, Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, Steve, with the whole talent talk, this is going to be talking about, like we talked at the start, about the, a career in real estate. Rose, it's incredible that you've been working on your way through the first year, and it's just been so cool. This is actually your first time jumping onto the stream. You look fantastic. Yes. You look so ready to go. Steve, you are leading this off. So where are we starting on this?
You know what? We got some questions lined up for Rose. But before we do that, we normally lead off with a trivia question that kind of goes into our topic of what we're talking about today. So we have a quick trivia question. Drop your answer in the comment section. We'd love to hear. But what percentage of real estate agents quit after their first 5 years? So multiple choice questions. I think we got some multiple choice answers up. And they are, what percentage quits after the first 5 years? Is it 13%, 27%, 63%, or 87%? Stay tuned and we will give you the answer. But in the meantime, right now, we will go into talking about like what it takes to get started in real estate. So, Rose, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So tell us, Rose, what made you get into real estate?
So Steve, it's like I already like me buying and selling my own home before, like as what I see in the process and stuff. I said like I like this. I mean, I can do this, and I like the idea of like talking to the lenders and all that stuff. And I'm in the hospitality industry before I joined real estate, so I like to take care of people. And a lot of my friends supported me, like you should be a real estate agent. And like finally last year I said like yeah, I mean, I want to go and do this one. And I'm excited, and I'm glad that I did it last year. And I'm glad that I joined John L. Scott.
Well, we're glad you're here, Rose. It seems like that's like a natural progression on how a lot of people get into real estate. And you've been doing this now for not quite a year, but maybe about half a year, 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
You had a certain expectation coming into the business. What were that expectations, and how has it changed in the last 8 months since you've been in, if any?
My expectations kind of be like, oh, it's not going to be bad. I can do this. But there's like, like some challenges. But one of that is the time management, because yeah, I'm not really good at it, but I am working on it, and I found a solution. And with the John L. Scott support and the staff and the managing brokers, they're trying to like guide me in how to do that effectively to make my business grow. And it's working. So yeah.
Okay.
That's really good. Steve, she's talking about time management as being one of the biggest surprises of what you needed to do to adjust. Was that because you hadn't really necessarily managed your own time before working kind of for someone else, or?
Yes, it's hard because when you're working like 8 to 5, like job, it's like, okay, I'll just get ready, you know, go to work, sit in the desk at 5, and then go home. That's it. Like, you've been told what to do, and then this, you got to be your own boss, and it's good, but it has its own challenges too. It's like, okay, it's up to you how you build your, how you structure your business. So it's gonna fail or you gonna be successful. It's all up to you. You got to do all the work.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. That's a personal responsibility.
yeah.
In that line, Steve, you at one point had to start a career as well. You were in Rose's shoes only like 25 years ago. What was it for you with getting that first engagement? What surprised you?
I when I first got into real estate, I didn't realize a lot of the stuff that you really had to do when you got into real estate. I mean, there was you are your own. I mean, once you get your real estate license, you are an independent contractor. You run your own business, and there is no one telling you a lot of times or holding you accountable that you have to do this, this, and this like a job. You know, so I think that was probably one of the challenges. Is like I didn't have structure in the sense that I had a boss over me at that time. Um, and as an independent contractor, a lot of times we have to be self-disciplined to be able to and proactive to make sure that we are getting the education, the training, and that we're staying plugged in and engaged in doing the things that we need to do in order to build our business. I mean, in essence, we own a business. Once you get a real estate license, you're in the service business, right?
Yep. Steve, that's great because I was thinking about that, and yours is in line a lot with what Rose was saying, which is that time management and learning how to do those things. The one that was hardest for me was I was accustomed to working and doing sales. What I didn't know is that because I had been doing a different industry for such a long time, I didn't think that the people who actually knew me would believe that I would be a real estate person, that I would be qualified enough to actually help them out. So I thought I had to find new people and everything else, when ultimately real estate is about relationships. Real estate is about the people and having the heart and service to want to serve them and help them through whatever it is in real estate. Because one of the reasons to join John L. Scott for me was all the support that I had, that I didn't have to know everything, but I had all the resources to make sure that the people I cared about and wanted to serve, that I could serve them. But I didn't find that, or actually I'd heard it many times, but I had to find it out for myself to really believe in it. Now, absolutely a huge advocate for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rose, how about you? I mean, I guess one of the things I think about when you're coming into the business, maybe some of those challenges. What were some of those other challenges that you faced? And maybe working with your friends, your sphere of influence people.
Yeah, it is a relationship-based industry, according to, I agree with Jurgen earlier. It is a challenge to build trust among strangers. Like, um, how you're gonna like try to convince or persuade them to go to you to use you as a buyer's agent or listing agent. So yeah, you just have to like kind of like tell them what you can offer in the table and your value, and really go out in your like if you're uncomfortable and you just get out of your shell, get in a box, do the things that like not normal, in a way that I'm so shy before, but then like when I get into the industry, like I need to like, yeah, okay, that's fine, like accept rejection when you're door knocking. No, I'm not interested. Like, okay, that's fine, I'll go to the next door. So it's just like finding something that, okay, it is uncomfortable, but then you will glad you did it, because
Yeah.
because the result is surprising. It will surprise you if you do that.
You know what? If you're just tuning right now, Today we are talking about what it takes to get into real estate, the expectations versus reality. We have Rose with us, and she's just kind of giving us her take as a newer broker in the industry and who's been killing it. Just some really great advice and things to look out, maybe things to be aware of. So, Rose, you were talking about, it sounds like, you mentioned door knocking in there
Yes.
and stepping outside of your comfort zone and making bold moves, because we talk about making bold moves. Um, how did that feel like when you first got into real estate? I mean, what?
At first I'm comfortable. Like, okay, you need to do this. You need to, go out in there. Like, oh my gosh, like, I remember the first time I door knock, I'm like sweating and I'm super cold, like, because in the back of my mind is just like, oh shoot, what if, they're like say, hey, go away, and but you just have to. I just have to keep telling myself like, it's okay. It's okay. There'll be, you only need one today or something, and just do your best and like be genuine in your intention, and I'm really glad that I did, like I did door knocking, and I'm getting good results. So yeah, it's good to get out of your comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah, Steve, you mentioned that, and Rose, love that you said that too about just door knocking, because really, you can almost do an affirmation, because every single day, all you're looking for is someone to serve. You've got to talk to a lot of people to find, because not everybody needs real estate services right now, but you
Mhm.
have a lot of people that you care about. All you're trying to do is find people to serve. And there's a quote from Zig Ziglar that I absolutely love. And I think it's so relevant to what we do in real estate, which is you can have anything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. So every day when we wake up, all we're doing is looking for somebody that day to serve. And if we do that and we do that consistently, we'll have all the success we want, right?
Absolutely. I think part of that in is just being able to be of service and getting out there and finding people that we could help out. Like, who can we bless today? How can we help someone out? You know, and I think that's kind of the nature of our business, and even with the people that the type of people that get into this business are people who are looking to help people out. I mean, just being of service. So,
Steve, one of the things about this is it's so easy to see, what are the mistakes we made, or what was hard, or what was really so different from what our expectations were when we were getting into real estate to the reality of starting in real estate. But on the flip side, too, there are a lot of things that are rewarding about a career in real estate. And sometimes those things are outside of our expectations. They come up and surprise us a little bit. So, you mind if I ask Rose, and maybe you too, Steve, like, what was it that what have you found most rewarding about being in real estate so far, Rose?
um for me, the most rewarding is the most fulfilling for me is I got to see my clients happy and satisfied with your service rendered. Like when you
Awesome.
go above and beyond 110% every time, for your clients, they will appreciate it and they will thank you for it. And that's the best feeling for me. It's like, thank you so much for, for all the help. Like, I mean, that's it. That's so worth it. All the hard work is so worth it. So yeah.
yeah, I think happy clients is like the best. One of the things that we talk about, like awards and things you get, accolades and stuff. But one of the things that I really cherish the most is like getting that thank you at the end, like, oh, Steve, that gratitude. Hey, you really helped us out. We really appreciate you. Love you, and just that relationship, that connection, you know, that you build when you're done with this process. In our business, a lot of it is about relationships, building those relationships and nurturing them. But I think that's probably one of the most rewarding things is that that, hey, thank you, Steve. We're so grateful for the work that you put in. I mean, I think that's satisfying to me.
Yes.
I could take that even a different way, that relationships, agree with both of you so much on that. But there's one part that surprised me on rewarding relationships is working with other agents, whether it's within our office or even cross agents that are on the other side of the transactions. Because ultimately,
Yeah.
if we're both doing our jobs right, we are both working cooperatively to help our clients achieve this goal of buying, selling a home, really making dreams come true on both sides of the equation. And there are friendships that are made where normally it feels like this should be such a competitive thing. It should be really hard and difficult for people to get along in this because you're should be butting heads, right? But that's not the case. More times than not, you're having great relationships with the people on the other side. And as you do that, have found that that has been a key to being able to have better transactions down the way when they know you, you know them, and we know how we'll work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's like
agree.
a team. It's teamwork.
Yes.
Trying to build, when you get into a transaction with someone, I feel like, I look at it as, hey, we're a team and we've got this end goal, to help our clients get what they want, whether it's you getting your client the home they want or getting their home sold, and me getting my client what they want. So it's a teamwork.
Yeah, you're saying
Yes.
teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream
That's
work, baby.
right.
Yeah. But one of the things that I think about is just like getting in the business. When we're getting in the business is like, what do you? And I'll throw this out to you, Jurgen, and you, Rose. Is like, what would you think would be the best advice that you could give someone who's getting into the business? Rose.
Okay. So if you're still waiting to get your license and you're still procrastinating to do it tomorrow, the next day, stop doubting yourself and just start acting. Okay. So I love this quote. They said that the only person that's stopping you from achieving or whatever you want to achieve in your life is yourself. So just stop doubting and just start believing in yourself and do the work. You just do it, okay?
Take
Yeah,
action. Do it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
do it
Hey,
now.
Steve, mind if I build on that question with Rose for just a sec? Because
Yeah.
getting started is one thing. And Rose, you had been thinking about it for such a long time, and you've been encouraged for such a long time. And you're not alone in that. So many people have been encouraged, feeling like either A, I've got a passion because I really love homes, I really love to help people, or B, people recognize in them that your personality, the way you care, would be such a good fit in real estate, but they don't make the decision to do it. What was it that helped you make that decision? And then when you finally said, okay, I'm going to do it, what was the process of getting licensed like for you? Like, what was your experience getting licensed?
So first, you said that what makes me do it, right? I finally last year I'm thinking like, oh wow, my kids are all grown up. They go to school, and now it's time for me. So I know that I want to do this. So it's funny because I really wanted to do it. I do the class. I enrolled right in the Washington Force Fundamentals. So I did that. I'll wait for the kids to go to sleep because I'm really like I want to do this. I'm gonna finish this. So when they go to sleep, and that's when I start my class. So I do it 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning,
Wow.
and then go to sleep, and then do it again. So I did it in 2 to 3 weeks. I'm done. And then after that, when I'm done, I'm excited to take my exam, but because of COVID, they won't like really schedule me like 3 weeks out. So I have to really refresh my memory like every other day, so I won't forget all the things that I just did. But yeah, it's really easy. It's really easy. You just have to be 18 years old to apply. I called John L. Scott, and they gave me like a code, and I get a little discount. so I so I ordered it, and they sent me books, and then I started it, and it is you can do it as quick as I did in 3 weeks, but you can take your time because it will give you up to 6 months to do it. But there's nothing hard when your heart and your mind really wants to do something. You can achieve it.
Yeah.
And Steve, you kind of this whole thing kind of wraps into something that's going on as well, right? Because when Rose is talking about that process of getting licensed, what stops a lot of people is they don't even know where to start. I mean, they stop before they start because they don't know where to start. So you
That's
kind of have something to talk about that on, right?
We do. So, I mean, one of the things that if you are looking to get into real estate, there's a lot of questions about like, how long does it take? What do I need to do? What's the next step? How much does it cost? What expenses am I looking at? So, we actually have a career night where if you're looking at getting into real estate, come on in. We could walk you through these steps, the process, what it takes, what a day in the life of a realtor looks like, how much it costs, and kind of go answer any and all questions that you may have. We've got special promotions going on right now if you're looking at getting your real estate license. And I believe in the comment section, we have a link, and there it is right there on screen, to be able to register for our career night, which is coming up this coming Tuesday or next week, Tuesday on the 24th, 24th, 25th. Tuesday,
Yeah.
24th. There it is. Yeah, so go to our website, register, come on in, and we can answer any questions that you may have and get you signed up if that's something that you want to get started.
Yeah, Steve, I can't help myself sometimes. I just get excited, and then Rose has such this new blossoming career on her hands. And Rose, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah, sure.
getting licensed really was that first step. And you were super aggressive on getting through because you were so directed. I mean, I did mine in about 3.5 weeks, but I wasn't staying up till 4 in the morning to do my studying. I was a little bit more measured than you were. But, once you get licensed and you have that first day and you walk in the door, you need some level of support. And when you do that, what was important to you about training or mentorship? Can you talk a little about that and what that has meant for you and how that's helped you get engaged?
Yeah. John L. Scott has really great staff, really good support, and that helped me tremendously. All the trainings, I know there's a lot. That's one of my surprises too. The amount of classes and trainings, it's like almost every day. It did surprise me, but it helped me tremendously in my business. So what I did is that when I signed in, Miss Pat showed me, walked me through the office and stuff. And I'm utilizing the marketing department a lot. And that helped me a lot to my door knocking. And everybody's super nice. Like I am so happy. Like really, I truly appreciate all the help from Steve, who's always available. Like when I need to ask something, like, Steve, can you help me? Do you have a minute? Thank you, Steve. Like really, that means a lot. And Miss Pat, and of course my mentor, Scott. He's been a blessing. He taught me a lot, like priceless information, like really in how you get started. And I do really appreciate all his help. And that mentorship is 100% worth it. So if you're gonna start, yeah, go to mentorship. Scott is a veteran in the business, so I'm glad that I was partnered with him, and he has helped me a lot with all the transactions I had. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's the John L. Scott. It's awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's so hard to not know what you don't know and where to get those things if you don't have a level of support or some foundation to help raise you up. And Steve, you've been such a big part of that part of the equation. So Rose has been on the receiving end of it. You've been so much on the giving end of that. What is the value to a brokerage to make sure they provide it? Because unfortunately, there are a lot of options out there that don't include a level of support like that. But why is it important to any brokerage, but kind of to this talent group of brokerages, why is that support so important to give?
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give to anyone getting started in this business, in order to succeed in this business, you need to be able to set yourself up for success. And choosing a company that offers the training and support is a huge part of your success in the future. We're going to talk about, and this kind of leads into our trivia question of how many people fail within the first 5 years of doing business, and it's on the higher side. Let me give you that. That's kind of a tip to our answer. But there is a lot of people who just don't succeed because they fail to, when they get in the business, a lot of times they don't have that support system of someone to call, someone to actually be by their side with a mentor to walk them through contracts. I think when they look at real estate and they see like Sell My Listing or all these HGTV type shows, it looks super glamorous, $1 million listing, and it looks like, ooh, I get to look at these homes, and they show all those really nice, glamorous features of selling real estate. But a lot of people don't realize the work that goes in on the back end that you have to learn from contracts, working with people, negotiating, dealing with problem clients, resolving issues, problem solving. So there's a lot involved. And you're a business owner, so you need to make sure that you have that support and that education to help your clients along. Because we're helping people with probably one of the most largest assets and investments that they have.
Yeah. Steve, that's awesome because it's all that is the reason to have support for somebody like Rose or even someone who's been in the business for a long time to make sure they have that support. And you mentioned like $1 million listing. Wasn't $1 million listing at one point really, really special? Where it feels like it's almost a common listing. But that kind of leads us to, all right, at the front, we said, what is something that we should be looking at as we are approaching into potentially a little bit of a shifting market and things changing? What are the things to focus on? But before we do that, maybe we should answer the trivia question because you're right. That is a significant number and it's a surprising number for many. Like, what percentage of real estate agents leave the real estate industry before they've been licensed for 5 years?
So we had several answers up on the screen, multiple choice answers. Christy, do you got those? 13, 27, 63, and 87. So we'll give you the answer right now. It is 87% of people drop out and fail within the first 5 years of getting a real estate license. Donna said, Steve, you were close, Donna.
Wow.
And what is the reason why? What is the reason why people fail and drop out?
Oh, there are a ton of reasons, right?
Yeah.
It could be that they never learned how to do business in the first place. They didn't have support. They didn't actually care about
Yes.
getting a license in the first place. Did you know that there are like nearly 2 million, or it might be over 2 million licensed real estate agents in the US? That's way too many anyways.
Yes.
We really need to care about the things that we do. And in such a good way, that leads into, okay, so if 87% of real estate agents who get licensed are out of real estate within 5 years, and people are still coming in because it almost feels like anyone can sell a house when the market is really easy. And it's been super heated for such a long time. But if
Mhm.
you listen to the news, you hear about interest rates, you hear about a softening buyer demand, you hear about a potential shift coming in the market, and we feel a little bit of a cool, which is actually probably welcome and a bit of a blessing. But if you're thinking about getting in real estate, what is important to really know to be successful as the market shifts? And it's not this super turbo heated market, but it gets to maybe a bit of a more normalized market. What is going to be important coming up here? Rose, you've been thinking about it. And then Steve, you've been thinking about it a little bit because you're in the midst and you're trying to make sure you do business, not just for now, but as a career. What are you looking for doing as you go into the next couple of years?
For me, I have a set goals, and I want to achieve them. So after I achieve those goals, then set higher goals. But for me, it's like to be successful, you just have to be genuine and be, genuine with your intentions. Always be nice. That goes a long way.
Nice. So actually caring about the people you work with, caring about what you do.
Yeah.
One of the reasons to have support and do all this is because you're not trying to wing it. You want to make sure that when you serve people, you have the answers or you can have the support to get them the results that they're actually looking for. And the goals, I love that you said goals because a lot of people go into it blindly. And if you go into it blindly, you can't really have a plan to be successful. So it starts with a goal.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It
Totally.
all starts with the goal. And like when we were talking, Jurgen, you were mentioning goals. It's like your why on why you get into real estate. And I know one of the reasons when we talk about why, and it still drives me today, is to be able to build that better future. And that part of that leads into just even getting into my bigger goal of real estate investment, building a portfolio of real estate to be able to have that what is it, the out extra income through real estate, through whether it's through flipping property, rentals, setting yourself up for the future.
Yes. Yes.
Steve, building on what you and Rose both said there, because yours was about looking for the future and being able to maybe invest, take advantage of different market conditions. Rose, you were talking about setting goals and being able to be directed in what you're doing. And what that says to me is intentional, like
Yes.
starting to act much more intentionally with their business. I think a lot of agents have not been very intentional about the way that they've gone about their business over the past couple of years. And that intention, being able to set where they're going, what they're going to do, and how they're going to go about doing it is going to be really important. And then adding that, that special sauce of consistency. So once you decide to do it consistently so it has a chance to really marinate and become, the full thing that you're looking for. And when we talked last night, Davina was going to join us, but wasn't able to make it. But she had talked about relationships, and not
Yeah.
just relationships. Like we talked real estate being about relationships, but really being intentional about loving on your relationships, about being very intentional about making sure you're focusing on them, because those are the things, those relationships, those are the people that you really care about. And if you care about them, you need to be able to show them, because the thing is, if 87% of real estate agents are out of real estate within 5 years of getting licensed, that means there are a lot of people who aren't sticking there or who were not serious about real estate in the first place. You know how you're going to take care of your relationships. You need to make sure that they know what you do so you have a chance to help them. Because if they don't use you to help them, they could use someone who doesn't really care, is not going to give them the time and attention that you will, and potentially they could be hurt by that. So there is a really good reason to make sure that they know what you do and you have an opportunity to really help and serve. What do you
Right.
guys think?
Yeah. Totally agree, Jurgen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of facets and aspects of your success as a real estate broker here in this industry. So, but yeah, couldn't agree more, Jurgen.
Yeah. And Steve, that kind of wraps in on that last question that we had on there. Hopefully everyone found a lot of value, especially if you were looking at or thinking about or considering a career in real estate. Hopefully
Yeah,
this helped you. Also, we have a career night coming up. And Steve, in addition to that career night coming up, we have a few other things that are coming up here in the next week. And then we're ready for a wrap up, right?
we are. We are. So we got a few things coming up this week. As always, we have open houses this weekend coming up. If you go to our website, you can check out our upcoming open houses, classes, events that we are hosting and sponsoring. We also have Forums Friday, which is coming up in about 10 minutes.
10
10
minutes.
minutes. For some reason, 10 minutes. Dougie Fresh Strong came into my head, just boop. But yeah, 10 minutes for Friday. And you could go to register to our website. We also have an upcoming marketing class, which is called Instagram Blueprint class, where you're going to learn like the basics of Instagram. That's going to be June 17th. And that is being put on by our John L. Scott marketing department and our marketing director, Christina Salcedo, who is amazing at social media, our social media guru, who helps us out on the back end. And that's just part of having that that support and that stuff that we have here at John L. Scott. So if you're a broker listening out there and you are looking for that level of service, support, training, and you want to up your game and level up in your business, we would love to talk to you about, and what we do differently and the value that we bring here at John L. Scott. So anything else tools wise?
Yeah. Maybe just a reminder. When is that first time homebuyer class? Or excuse me, first time homebuyer class. When is career night again?
Career night, Tuesday, May 24th. It's going to be live and in person at our Lacey location. If you go to our website, you can register for the class, or just come on down 4:30 on Tuesday, which is Tuesday 4:30.
Yeah. And if anybody at all is interested in this and wants to get more information, message us. We're happy to share. This is really about similar to what we talk about for finding people to serve in real estate. We do the same, looking for people to serve in as brokers serving in real estate. What were you saying, Rose?
If they're like hesitant to go to the career night, hello, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yep, absolutely.
Am I good?
Yep.
Okay, so some other people is like kind of hesitant to go to career night and just want to ask questions first before they go. They can always call. We have office in DuPont, Lacey, Tumwater, and Olympia. So if you want, we'll be glad to answer all their questions before you go.
That's so good.
Don't hesitate, okay?
That's
right.
So,
well, you know what? We did a nice, timely show. This hopefully gave a lot of value out there if you're considering looking into real estate. We want to encourage you, but also want to let you know that it is some work, but it offers a level of freedom that is different from most careers. Steve, you'd mentioned it as owning your own business. It's like owning your own business within a business. It really is. Rose, you mentioned about it gives you new opportunities or new ways of looking at things. So for the first time in many people's life, working life, they get to set their own schedules and they really get to set their own priorities and not be told what the priority needs to be. You can design your business that's right for you. But, going back to that thing, it's really important coming up here to be very intentional about what that is. Dig a little deeper, figure out what it really means to you. And then a brokerage like ours can really help you get into there, help set a roadmap and a plan so you can be successful, not just for a month, a year, or something like that, but really for a career.
Absolutely. All right, gang. Great job. We are at time, so we are going to wrap it up. Rose, any final thoughts? I really appreciate you coming in and sharing with us.
Yeah. Great job, Rose. Hey, it looks like you're just a natural on camera.
What?
You're natural. Rose, any final thoughts?
Sorry.
Rose, so, hey, we always wrap it up with a big be bold. What does be bold mean to you?
To just do it.
Just do it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Be bold, make bold moves. Rose, why don't you count us down and take us home?
3, 2, 1.
Be bold. Bye.
Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thank you for having me.